This morning, American President Joe Biden announced a ban on the import of Russian oil to the United States. And a lot of people on the West Coast are wondering what impact will this have on gas prices that have already reached record highs, in many cases over $6 per gallon here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And for an answer, it helps to turn to the industry trade group representing oil manufacturers and refiners and petrochemical companies in the United States. That's the AFPM. And they have done some research specifically into the impact of banning Russian oil on the United States and specifically on the West Coast. So according to the AFPM, U.S. West Coast refineries rely on imports of a particular kind of oil called light sweet crude. That's often imported from Russia because it's harder to get geographically from other parts of the United States or to import from other countries. They also say that imports into California and other states on the West Coast have been impacted by lower supply from countries like Nigeria. So we are importing more oil to the West Coast from Russia than we have in the past. And again, a lot of that apparently has to do with the specific kind of oil that is used here or that is available here on the West Coast. That said, apparently refineries on the East Coast will also be impacted because of the fact that they tend to import more finished products from Russia. So certainly overall, apparently the amount of imports from Russia have increased, and we can actually see the overall picture here in a report from the AFPM looking at overall import levels. About 3% of imported oil in the United States does come from Russia. Now, of course, that impact will be felt on the West Coast, both in terms of less Russian oil available due to the ban. Again, that specific kind that's hard to get from elsewhere, light sweet crude, that might have an impact. Also, the AFPM says that there may be disruptions to global markets as well. So other countries might be impacted by the conflict in Ukraine and the lack of Russian oil or lack of availability of Russian oil. That may in turn impact prices, and because here in California we already have a lot higher gas prices in many cases than other parts of the country, we may be impacted in an outsized way. So it's certainly possible with this new ban, even though Russian oil imports are a relatively small part of the overall U.S. picture, it may impact us here on the West Coast in a disproportionate way, and we could certainly see oil prices at the pump, gas prices at the pump, continue to increase. There's certainly a possibility that they could reach $7 a gallon or more if the conflict continues and the ban persists.